I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
Here's a 2-1. And that's driven deep to left center field. Gardner is going back. Looking up. See you later. See you later. Astros headed back to the World Series. Jose Altuve, a walk-off 2-run homer. And the Astros beat the Yankees 6-4. Win the ALCS 4-2.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait. Are you kidding me? Do you believe it?
So we have the Eastern Conference Finals that are now the best of 3, and the Western Conference Finals best of 0. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. I am one half of that duo, Cole Johnson. Well, you see the mic. You don't see me. The other half is convalescing. He says his best wishes. He says hello. He says he loves all of you. And everything is fine on this end. Unfortunately, I could not join you yesterday because I had a family emergency. I actually was traveling to it. But everything is fine now. Thank God. And I do mean that literally, not just figuratively. And we're going to keep the train rolling. On tap today, we'll talk about the Eastern Conference Finals between the Heat and the Celtics. The Western Conference Finals, we will preview Game 4 between the Mavs and the Warriors. We will touch on some other things that are just bothering me. And we'll deal with some NFL issues as well. And we'll delve into some talk in different areas and different arenas around the world of sports. So let's get into that debacle of a Game 4 between the Heat and the Celtics. The final score is 102-82. It really wasn't even that close because we were talking about at one point a 30-point lead the Celtics held. So they just basically called off the dogs and was like, I think we're good to go. We got what we needed to come for. We salvaged a win at home. And now we made it a best of 3, and we have the capability and confidence to win a game in Miami. So let's do that again. For the Heat, they just simply couldn't get going. Victor Oladipo was the leading scorer with 23, and the offense just was not clicking. I mean, yeah, it got going, of course, in the garbage minutes in the fourth quarter, but only 22 points in the second quarter, 19 in the third, and a wonderful 11 points in the first quarter. So yeah, the game was basically over. I mean, here's all you need to know. If you didn't see anything or even read anything about this particular game, the Heat didn't make their first field goal. Now they had a point, but they didn't make their first field goal until a Victor Oladipo 3 went in with 3:20 to go in the first quarter. By then, the game was, I think, either 18 or 19-1. So the game was done. It was over. It literally was over before it began. So along with that, Martin off the bench with 12. You had Robinson with 14. Of course, Hero could not play. He was out due to injury. You had Max Strus, who normally would be one of your contributors who give you some double-digit figures. He gave you 0. And then PJ Tucker, who normally gives you a couple of those corner threes, he also gave you 0. Now, he did give you a steal, and he gave you three boards and 2 dimes. But in the points department, 0. And with Bam Adebayo, who almost went ham in Game 3, 9.6 boards and 2 assists. Only shot the ball 5 times. You can't do that. Not now. Not in this late of the season. You got to come up big. You got to come up huge. And that, to me, is the problem. Now, before I continue on with this debacle of a Game 4, let me do this the right way.
If I were Joel Embiid, I'd run like hell.
Urbingologist, why is your leader a horrible basketball player? Ben Simmons, get out of the league. Period. I'm talking about number 33, Roger Craig.
And you don't lose to the same team in the Super Bowl twice. LeBron James, as a basketball player, is pure, unadulterated trash and has been for 20 years.
It is my pleasure to welcome back my partner, Brian Snow, the originator of Snowman in the Morning. It is good to have you back, sir. And before you begin, whatever thoughts you may have,
Okay.
let me big up Sick. How you doing, sir? Good morning. And yes, that like I said at the top, that's what happened. Family emergency took me away, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Things are good. Things are good. And he said that the Celtics defense did a great job containing Jimmy buckets to 6 points throughout the game. That kept Miami from getting out on the blocks. And it definitely slowed him down, along with I guess you could say, the knee injury he suffered in Game 3 as well. He said, let's not forget the Celtics were missing Marcus Smart after his heroics in Game 3 with a twisted ankle. Yeah, they did all of that without their spark plug. That is what I found this game, and I was going to get to that point. That's what I found interesting about this game. Sir, all you. What are your thoughts about Game 4 last night?
Before I get to Game 4, this is the LeBron James sucks ass as a basketball player hotline that's calling in.
Oh Lord, we will touch on that type of hotline content a little later in the show, because I do have something along those lines. But yes, how may I help you, sir?
Okay. Well, I already made my thesis statement, which turned out to be true for 20 years. But to the point at hand, the Miami Heat are in serious trouble. Serious trouble. Because, and I love Jimmy Butler. Don't get it twisted.
I do too.
I love Jimmy Butler.
I do too.
But 6 points in a road game where you're needed, it does. What's the old line? Does not compute.
Well, at least the flummoxed effort doesn't compute. I think that's where I had the issue with him in particular, because even with his banged up knee, I mean, he was integral in the Game 3 victory they had. But here, it was as if he was a fish out of water. And yes, credit to the Celtics defense. I mean, they did a wonderful job.
Yep.
But normally
defense punched him in the mouth.
And I'm glad you actually said that.
Listen, right from let me put this in your terms. A right from Ali, a left hook from Tyson, and the next thing you know, the Miami Heat were scrambling.
Yeah. This would probably be a first round knockout. I mean, because it was either 18-1 or 19-1 before Victor Oladipo hit a 3 with 3:20 to go in the first quarter. I'm like, oh yeah, this game's over. 19. That's what I thought.
It was.
I was like,
I mean, we're on the verge of getting an NBA World Championship Series we should have had 4 years ago. We should have had this 4 years ago, but Kyrie Irving messed all that up in Boston. And then there's the LeBron James factor, which I'll come back later on in the show and I got 2 bronze sexual confessions. I'll do one today and I'll do one tomorrow.
Okay.
Now, as far as tonight goes, the Golden State Warriors must put the Dallas Mavericks away tonight. If you let them hang around, they'll get confidence for like the first half of Game 5 in San Francisco. Now, I know I'd love to see the Warriors celebrate at the Chase Center to put credence to a theory I said 3 years ago when they when they 2 years ago when they opened the Chase Center, that they would blow the piss out of Oracle Arena with a title, and then 2 more to open the Chase Center. Well, the Toronto Raptors put a stop to that in 2019, and I loved that 6-game effort by Toronto. I loved that World Championship Series, and I said as such after the Raptors clinched. And before I go any further, Cole, I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad your family's okay. I missed you yesterday, man.
Well, I miss being here, but unfortunately, family has to come first. So,
Always.
Yeah, and I say unfortunately not with the family, but unfortunately as in with this vehicle. Because I want to show up here, but family calls.
Hey, family first. That's something.
Yeah, family.
Sick believes in. That's something I believe in. My wife believes in it.
Yeah. Now 6 says about the Heat Celtics game. He says, correct, Cole. Jimmy Butler did lead Game 3 early with a swelling in his right knee. Game 4 was not his night, and his knee was 100%. Yeah. And that to me
much with that.
Yeah, that to me is what I thought. I was like, you dealt with the injury in Game 3, so I can't say it's the injury's fault in Game 4. That just was that to me was a lack of effort, which you don't ever equate Jimmy Butler with that statement. You never do. And we will get to the Warriors and Mavericks Game 4 momentarily.
Okay.
But 6 says, good morning, Snowman.
I got a lot to say about Game 3.
Oh, I do too. He says, good morning, Snowman. Is it possible to get the number to the hotline as well?
Hey, Sick, I'm going to add a real hotline within a month's time because I want to add an element to the show. I'll work on that behind the scenes.
Brother.
Better half says hi. Better half says hi to you and yours, Cole. And to everyone, to Sick Diggy in the chat and the folks who participate, we thank you. And I have an announcement to make. I told Cole this in private, but I'm gonna just go ahead and put my dreams out there. Should all go well within the next 2 to 3 months, and believe me, because I've been in the hospital since Saturday dealing with something that backfired in my body, but I'm feeling a lot better today. Should all go well within 3 months, we will be returning home. And as you know, Cole, my second home is North Carolina.
Okay. Now that's the state. You're returning back to the same area.
I don't mean same area. Hell no.
Okay. That's what I thought.
No.
I wanted to make
not
sure.
After the conversations you and I had. Hey, not after the conversations you and I had with me and Jody and Sonia living in that podunk ass town. No.
Right.
We're headed for Greensboro. We're headed for the Triad.
That is more suited for you. Yes.
Yep. And I'm reaching out to a few schools today, and let me do this to make sure I'm a part of the radio show. Today's show is live on BS3 TV, and beginning Monday, it will resume live audio on SDM Sports as well as Real Wise Radio. That's beginning Monday.
Cool. BS3 Network, speaking of which, says good morning. And 6 says that's good news. He says all things work for the better, which I agree.
Yeah. Imagine, and you've seen pictures of my wife, and I know Sick has too. Imagine Jody and I in not one SUV, but twin SUVs. pulling up in Greensboro, North Carolina.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, and I will send my hello to her too. She's done a wonderful job with you, man.
Oh,
and I always try to make a point every time I do the show to get a shout out to her on it.
And y'all know she's my lifeblood. And oh, thank you, BS3. This is great to hear you, Snowman. Great to hear you. After this weekend, and I couldn't keep any food down for the life of me. I just polished off a few pancakes, some eggs, a little bit of oatmeal, and I'm not running to the bathroom. I feel terrific and finally got a handle on some of these setbacks that were happening. And as it turns out, as one of my oncologists told me, I have to remember major surgery that happened to me on April 4th, and my body has to get used to some new medicines. In fact, they've stopped one and they're going to start another. But Sick Diggy, this is for you. As our good friend Charles Faulkner said, you can't keep a snowman down.
Sure cannot. Sure cannot. That is wonderful news. And the Triad will be very thankful. Snowman will grace its presence there, and man, they won't know what hit it. Greensboro.
You're familiar. Greensboro, High Point, Winston-Salem, and I got contacts in all three places. You're familiar with the Triad. They won't be ready for us. Not the way we're going to come in kicking ass. They won't be ready for us. Now, in terms of my healthcare, we're going to keep it here, and then I'm going to establish some entrepreneurial healthcare with a couple services down in North Carolina to make sure my wife's covered, my daughter, and myself, as well as my family. But man, this is as good as I felt since surgery, since the night of surgery. You have a new backdrop, dude. You've been getting creative on me since I've been out.
Well, no, I'm been getting in this case. I've been getting resourceful.
I got you.
I'm not at home, and I don't have a green screen, so this backdrop is courtesy of where I am now.
Listen, I love my in-laws, but I don't have my full setup either. And trust me, I was close to having one last year down in Carolina, and then all hell broke loose.
Unfortunately, that happens.
Yeah. I totally get where you're coming from. And all I got to say to the folks, wait till Cole, Wise, and I are in the same studio.
Yeah, that's going to happen sometime soon. Six says it could be the hottest day in the summer, and you still can't keep the snowman down. I agree to all of that.
Damn straight.
Six says, Cole, I'm sure Chris Banks would have loaned you his backdrop. Yeah, go ahead, man.
You know what? Wise has already created one for me. Cole, I know you have one.
Yeah.
Every guest that we bring on via video, we're gonna create some kind of backdrop for him. I'm fine with that. That's like my technical project of the summer. And I have a friend who says hi to you. Does the name Jay Spivey mean anything to you?
Means a lot to me, man. I have missed him.
Oh, he's missed you. He and I talked yesterday. When I get resituated at home, which will probably be Thursday morning, we will bring him on and then get him back on schedule on Mondays. He's told me several times he misses being on.
Well,
now then.
Yeah.
Now then, Dallas Mavericks, you messed up.
before we get there, let me give the props to the Celtics real fast. We saw how Tatum struggled in Game 3, but he bounced back after his pin. I guess you could say it's like a stinger in his shoulder. Yeah, bounced back with a 31-point performance. Had 3 others of the starters that went in double figures, and Peyton Pritchard off the bench with 14 as well. And they did that without Marcus Smart, who of course is injured with. You just name anything from his right hip on down, it seems to be injured on him. And the Celtics came out and they sort of played inspired, and that was great to see. And I'm with what you said earlier about this. I believe the Celtics will win this series. I felt it before, and I thought the reason why the Celtics will win it, because to me it is with the Heat. It is Jimmy Butler and ... Who is going to be the second guy to step up with them? And now when you have Jimmy who doesn't step up in the game, it's just easy for the Celtics. They can name their score. So if that's the case, I totally agree with you. The Heat are in serious trouble.
The Heat are in serious trouble. And they're going back home for Game 5.
Right. They're going back to South
Remember 2012 and the Celtics pulled a surprise? I don't think Game 5 will be a surprise. If the Celtics get off to a hot start in the first quarter, they will ride it going away.
Well, I mean, it definitely is a surprise in this series because they did the same in Game 2. So if they could do that again, totally. All right, now Game 3. Go ahead. Yeah, definitely.
I Game to the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So Game 3 of the Warriors Mavericks.
The Andrew Wiggins show.
Well, it was the Andrew Wiggins show. Okay. Before I get into the detailed analysis of this game, let me look right in this camera. Referees, what in the world were you thinking in calling that dunk, that wonderful dunk, one of the best in the playoff history, an offensive foul? That was not an offensive foul. You saw Luka, what's the word? Flop. And
you saw Luka
you disallowed
out of the way.
Yeah. And you disallow one of the greatest dunks to ever happen in basketball, in playoff basketball history. That was beautiful. I was so upset when I saw that be called offensive foul.
The Warriors are going to be so pissed off come tonight, come Game 4. They took a basket that shouldn't have been taken away from them. And, I give you Cole, I'm going to hand you something for your podcast on a silver platter. And here it is. For those of you for 13 years that thought Stephen Curry would never develop into a closer, I submit to you the first 3 games of this Western Conference final.
You must have climbed in my brain, sir, because at the end of this analysis, that's where I was going to go. So in Game 3, you had Draymond Green, who scored double digits. He gave you a couple steals, gave you a block. You had Andrew Wiggins, who showed up and showed out with 27, along with that 11 boards. You had Klay Thompson, who scored 19. You had Poole, who sort of cooled down with 10. But I'll get to the chef momentarily. So for the losing Mavs, who now need all 4 games to advance to the finals, which that has never happened in the history of the NBA. You had Luka who scored 40, and it won't happen here. You have Luka who scored 40. You had Jalen Brunson scored 20. You had Spencer Dinwiddie who scored 26. That pretty much was it with the point performances and with Luka. People saying, well, yeah, he got 40, and that's all great. But here's the thing. When the team does better, being aggressive and up and down and backwards and forwards, when they are aggressive, that's when they play better. So when you know this, yet you bog the offense down by playing ISO. And it's cool that Doncic has a style where it's like, I could take my time and still get my stuff off. That's great. But when you ruin the flow of your offense by doing that, that's problematic and that's troublesome, especially when you need to have pace on the offensive end to beat the Warriors. That's the only way that you can attack them defensively. If you attack the Warriors when they're on defense, when you're a sitting duck like Luka, they can have you just take all the shots. That's fine. That's fine. And I had many who said, okay, well, this is great. And I will touch on Luka at another point in the show, too. Now, let's get to the chef, shall we? 31 points, 11 dimes, 5 boards. On 10 of 20 shooting, 5 of 10 from 3, and 6 from the line. The reason why I'm saying it that way is because he was 50% from the field, 50% from 3, and 100% from the line. This man has taken key shots and key moments. And before this series began, people were saying that, oh, Lord, you're going to love this graphic when I show it to you. So people were saying that he wasn't being clutch, he being Steph. He wasn't being clutch. So in the utter blasphemy that has been unearthed, and I displayed this 6 days ago, one of the utter blasphemous points was that quote, Steph has been getting carried all playoffs, close quote. Unless you're receiving some medical advice, I will lay back and allow you to cook.
Steph, whoa. Let me read. Put the graphic back up for me, will you, please? I want to break this down. Put the graphic back up for me. Mm-hmm. Cole's my executive producer from now on, folks. I made this appointment last month. Giannis lost by 30 in Game 7. KD got swept in the first round, and B choked in front of home crowd. Steph has been getting carried all playoffs. And, of course, in this picture, we see LeBum James, who's been getting carried for his entire 20-year career.
Ouch.
Let me say very, very carefully, and I know you got the video with it, but I'm going to say this one live. Okay?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And it goes like this. Bitch, are you for real?
Bitch, are you for real?
So when you actually offered Steph was being clutch, I knew exactly where I was going to go, because I've been hearing that garbage that he hasn't been all playoffs long, because people are erroneously saying, well, Jordan Poole's been carrying him. No. Klay Thompson's been carrying him. No. The most consistent player on the Warriors in the playoffs has been Steph. And that's not biased. That's just true. Okay. My 4 eyes are proof of this.
Now I will cook.
All right.
Whoever put that set of things together. And a matter of fact, I know I'm in a hospital bed, but y'all need to see my face when I cook, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. Listen, I may be sick, but I know what a closer is. Magic Johnson was a closer. Larry Bird was a closer. I don't even have to mention Michael Jordan being a closer. I don't have to mention Tim Duncan being a closer. I don't have to mention Dwayne Wade, Dirk Nowitzki, Kobe Bean Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Hakeem Olajuwon. I don't have to mention any of those guys. Wes Unseld. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't have to mention Jack Sigma. Anybody remember 1978? To say that Steph has been carried in this year's playoffs, whoever wrote that needs to be stomped by Kirk Franklin and the Blue Man Group. And that's not an original line for me. That's not an original line for me. It's from a popular YouTuber. But I'll say it again. Whoever thinks that Chef Curry is not a closer and has been carried his entire career and this year's playoffs, you need your ass stomped by Kirk Franklin and the Blue Man Group, and also a little bit of Stone Cold Steve Austin with those size 13 boots. So Chef's not a closer, huh? I submit to you the first 3 games, where in all 3 games he did the night-night pose on a dagger against the Mavericks. I submit to you the first 3 games of this Western Conference final, and it'll be 4 after tonight. I submit to you the 2019 Western Conference Finals, where Shep did close Game 4 in Portland, Oregon, to seal the sweep. Okay? And Diggy, thank you for climbing into my head. No, Green, Thompson, and Poole and the rest of the Warriors are following Curry's leadership. Here's that word again. And I hate to cuss on our Tuesday, and I'm a day ahead. Listen, bronzesexuals, they're following Curry's leadership, something LeBron has never had in his basketball career, or in many cases his life. But I digress. Curry's the field commander, marshaling the troops under his general, a.k.a. Coach Steve Kerr. Which brings another piece of blasphemy that someone mentioned to me before I came here to this hospital on Saturday, that Steve Kerr was not a good coach. Okay.
Whoa. Before you continue with that blasphemy.
Bitch, please.
Yes, sir.
Please continue.
I'll turn the second burner on this. When you play under coaches like, I don't know, Phil Jackson, I don't know, Greg Popovich, I don't know, Lenny Wilkins. Because remember, Kerr was drafted, Kerr played for the Cavaliers once upon a time, and he was their coach in the 80s, Lenny Wilkins.
Mm-hmm.
And Kerr's not a good coach. The man who gets the championship winner, Utah. The man who lit up the same Dallas Mavericks team in 2003 in the final 5 minutes with 4 dagger threes to send the Spurs on their way.
I guess he sucks.
It seems like Kerr. It seems like Coach Kerr and Stephen Curry are a match made in heaven. Meanwhile, any coach with LeBron is a match made in hell. I've been saving these shots, and I'm going to take them all. Let's turn on burner number 3 on my cooking stove. Touched on Curry, touched on Steve Kerr. Here's burner number 3. Jalen Brunson, you're screwed. And I don't mean that in a bad way.
What?
I mean that in a way that Luka Doncic is stunting your growth.
That's unfortunate, but I agree with you.
And I hate to say this because Luka's a hell of a talent.
He is.
Now I'm going to put Luka's name in the same sentence with someone that many of their ilk will tell me I shouldn't compare the two. But Luka's going the way of LeBron James.
Oh, no. No, don't.
Did I climb in your head again?
Yes. And I don't
People don't want
want
to believe it.
that to be true.
I don't want that either. But look at his play. Look at his play, man. Sorry about that, folks. Look at his play. 40 points. What's everybody celebrating? Luka's 40 points. What are they not celebrating? Follow the bouncing ball. And Cole, you know the sentence very well. The Warriors cut the Mavericks to pieces.
And this is one of the old school type of defensive philosophies that you have. If you can sense a player being so dominant that he's going to do everything possible to get his stuff off, they will allow him to do what he does, but of course, make him work to get it. But eliminate as many of the others to come along with them as they possibly can.
Correct again.
And so the 40 points that he put forth, impressive individually, but as for a team aesthetic, it only went those 11 assists only went to 2 different players. So.
And to think, what was the thing about game 1 of this series that should have frightened everybody? Who was the leading rebounder in game 1? Was it Draymond?
No.
Was it Kevon Looney?
No.
Was it Klay Thompson?
No. Was it
Andre Iguodala?
Wasn't Iguodala? No.
I'll touch on Iguodala in a minute. It was Stephen Curry.
That's right.
31 and 12. Okay. Damn near triple-doubled the Mavericks on an off night.
Okay, here's something else that
on
that
an
has
off
been,
night, y'all.
Yeah, this is something else that's been really irking my nerves when it comes to criticism towards Steph. Outside of the whole team's been carrying him. Let me see if I can get this point correct.
Oh yeah.
That he has never played well enough to earn a Finals MVP nod.
That's some grade A homogenized Holstein bullshit if I ever heard it.
And I'm saying to myself, a person who is in the finals, not the playoffs, not the regular season, the finals, to average 26 points per game, that person is not good enough to win Finals MVP. Right.
And because he's never won Finals MVP.
Yeah,
because he's never won Finals MVP. That's the one knock they'll hold against him. You know, Sick Diggy said something, and I want you to put this quote up. Diggy says, like I said last week, Luka Doncic is facing the war. No, not that one. The one above it. The one above it. Speaking of which, is it kind of childish for Doncic to say what he said in the post-game press conference? I'm only 23 years old. Well, yeah, because you're supposed to be leader of the team, you dumbass.
Well, yeah. No. The question on his face to answer the question is yes. But I think, Sick, you've been 23.
No.
I've been 23. My partner's been 23. You normally will say some BS stuff like this if you're 23. So I expect him to say stuff like that.
Yeah, but I also expect him to be one of the leaders of the team.
Well, yeah, that too. But I expect him to do
how they're getting back into the series.
Yeah. I agree with you. I just expect him to do that because he is so green and young still, and not necessarily with basketball, but in life. I mean.
Yep. What's up, Cool McCain? Good to talk to you.
What's up, Cool?
Mr. McCain, I need to have a conversation with you soon, and I'll explain all when we have this conversation off the air. Game 4 tonight in Dallas, and I'm going to use my monkeyknifefight.com influence because all the prop bets are going to be all over the place. And for those of you who don't believe in what we're doing here at Snowman in the Morning and don't believe in this project, stay tuned. We got so much more that we have up our sleeve. Let me say this.
Okay.
Dallas, I believe, and Cole, I need you to look this up. Is Dallas not favored tonight?
All right. Let me see. Tonight's game. They are, but it's only by 1 point.
Okay. Whether it's by 1 point or by 10, here's my official Monkey Knife Fight call of the day. Take that 1 point and put a whole bunch of cheese on it. Put a whole bunch of cheese on it because I believe Golden State will win this game and the Western Conference title going away.
Well, the Mavericks don't have an answer for the Warriors, and to me, it was proven in Game 2 that they didn't have an answer for them. And here's why I say this: the people who were dropping to their knees and getting into position, I may say, about touting the virtues and extolling the virtues of Luka Doncic, and them being up 15 and a person who loves a certain number, a player wears number 6, having the nerve to say, quote, Luka coming off of a cold in Game 1 is showing you how much of a stud he is in Game 2. Close quote. But the problem is, if he gets the stud, he needed to seal the deal, and he did not.
But Stephen Curry did.
Right. The person who supposedly does not have the clutch gene, the person who I've heard, these two statements I have heard as recently as of last week. This is the same person who is claimed to have never hit a key shot close and late, like within 30 seconds of the game being over. And this is a guy who has a worse percentage from 3 from 2011 to 2020 as the aforementioned LeBron James.
Now, why are you gonna make me cuss this morning, man?
Well, see, it's because the ridiculousness. Oh! I'm glad I could do this to you. You see, right now, all of you are basically having the inside baseball-ish moment of seeing idiots who are on the internet just spouting off prisoner of the moment. And these prisoner of the moment. Oh, and as soon as this clown posted this status of Luka just cooking while the Warriors suck, and they were down 15. By the time that game was over, that post was gone. Like, you idiot.
And we're surprised why.
Oh, I'm not surprised. I just find it funny.
So,
Oh, I'm sorry. Your thoughts, sir.
See, people are freaking stupid. Okay? People are dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about being prisoner of the moment?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, give me that prisoner of the moment intro. Hit me with it. I got one.
All right.
I got one.
Oh, cool. All right. Here we go. All right. Well then. Here is another prisoner of the moment.
LeBron, why did you open your mouth and put your foot in it while trying to drop to your knees with Luka at the same time during Game 2?
Oh, the fact he said that Luka's his favorite player.
Yep. Let me explain in a simple math equation how this prisoner of the moment how this moment got worse.
Okay.
Up by 19, lost by 9. That's a 28-point swing.
Points turnaround. Yeah. Oh, along with this cool says Doncic reminds him of LeBron when he cries and whines a lot. So that's another point to add to the comparison between Luka and LeBron.
I saw that when Luka came in the league. Okay, people are gonna say, "Oh no, you didn't see it." I've watched NBA basketball since 1980. I've seen Prisoners of the Moment the entire 1970s on CBS when there wasn't a dynasty. And thank you, Cole, for that.
Yeah, no problem.
For y'all to think, and I use the term very loosely, that LeBron is the greatest player of all time, which is a bold-faced lie.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
I'm sorry.
And
you told the best joke of 2022 when you said that. Oh my gosh.
And for y'all to think Luka Doncic will take over that mantle? Give me a little Dolomite, please.
Oh, sure thing, sir.
Give it to me again.
Oh, he's doing it James Brown style.
Now, LeBron, keep your mouth closed, even with said Dallas Mavericks member in your mouth. The person you should be, I'm going to say something very blasphemous. I'm going to say something very, 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 very blasphemous.
can say something
Mavericks
very
fans
blasphemous.
ain't gonna like it.
Okay. So what's the blasphemous thing you have to say?
The person they should be building around is Jalen Brunson.
You know, that's not so blasphemous, but I get why they would think it.
Mm-hmm.
People are not talking about him in the same terms they do Luka. However, that Mavericks team runs better the way he operates the offense more than how Luka operates it.
And I've seen Jalen Brunson play from high school to college
and college
to now. Because he played at Stevenson High School in suburban Chicago. And I fell in love with Jalen Brunson's game then. I fell in love with Jalen Brunson's game then. I saw him in a holiday tournament put on a show. Okay? And I will repeat what Sick Diggy said, and it's so true. Doncic is getting too comfortable in Dallas. His camp needs to get in his ass for being sloppy. Yep. And while I'm making comparisons in terms of reporting to camp, fat and sloppy and out of shape, does the name James Harden mean anything to y'all?
Oh! We'll talk about that a little later, too.
Fired.
Oh, man. We'll talk about that a little later.
Okay?
Man, you'll look
mean every
I know you. I know you do. I know you mean every single syllable. I know you do.
Mm-hmm.
The chat is fire as usual. Six says Jason Kidd needs to have a talk with Luka Doncic about taking responsibility. He should never have said that mess in the press conference. And I agree with you. He should not have come up and uttered that. I'm just 23 years old. Well, we all know that, fool. But this is your 5th year in the NBA. You're not a rookie or the second year. You've been in the league since you were 19. So normally you would think this would take over and your maturity will blossom, but not yet. Sick also says Steph Curry, along with his brother Seth, is second generation. He's been a clutch player since high school. He learned a lot from Del Curry and others. Here's another thing about that. All you have to do is look at his time with Davidson. Talking about Steph. All you have to look at his time with Davidson. That team was Nowheresville, but you insert him in there, and that team had a good NCAA tournament run.
And came within an eyelash of getting to San Antonio in 2008.
Right. Eyelash of Final Four. Right. So people want to slander him and say he isn't clutch. I saw that clutch thing before he was ever a Warrior. So, so
I saw it in 2008 when he took down single-handedly my original favorite college basketball team in the Georgetown Hoyas.
Sick also says, let's be honest,
Anyone knows how much I love Georgetown? Patrick Ewing, John Thompson Sr. Y'all already know. But for Steph Curry to do that and to see his dad there cheering him on, which makes me so happy I'm a parent because I get to cheer my kids on with whatever they're doing. And I had the pleasure of meeting Sir Del Curry. I had the pleasure of meeting the proud papa.
So you have met Stephen Curry first. Okay, cool.
I met the originator. I met the 16-year veteran who is alongside
one of the greatest shooters
buddy,
ever.
Eric Collins. Yep, who's alongside Eric Collins, one of my great friends, who is the television voice of the Charlotte Hornets. And I'll do a quick side note before we get back into our Warrior discussion. 10 minutes after the hour, for those of you listening on the go, you can soon find us once again on TuneIn as well as iHeartRadio. This is Snowman in the Morning. Yeah, I'm in a hospital bed, but I'm the Snowman. I'm riding along shotgun with Cole Johnson, my partner. And Chris Mace has checked in. He says, good morning, Brian, Cole, and people. Good people and bad. I got respect for Luca's game, but put the cheeseburger down, man. Amen, Base. Amen, Base. Base, that's just one of the many reasons why I love you dearly. And I'm going to fight my brains out to be with y'all Friday morning for an entire show.
You know,
I'm getting better. I'm getting stronger.
You know, every time the last 3 weeks that I've had Chris on, he said, "Man, I would love to have the Rain Man on," and I feel him. I feel him on that.
Well, Base, you're gonna get you. Well, Base, if all goes well Friday, you will get your wish. In fact, everybody will get their wish on Friday, and I'll be on for the entire 120 minutes doing this simulcast style, which means scoreboard updates, which means time updates, which means all of it. All of it. It's time. And when I brought back the old logo for Snowman in the Morning, I said something to Cole, and I borrowed from WrestleMania, where it all begins again, which is of course, for those of you who watch wrestling, that was the motto for WrestleMania 20 at Madison Square Garden in New York. But man, this is where it all begins again. Oh, and by the way, Mike and Mike, you're the reason for our inspiration, and for every other radio show, we're coming for that spot. And I'm not digressing.
Are we coming for the #1 spot? Thank you, Lucas.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, let me shout out the chat real fast. So 6 says, let's be honest, Colin Snow. LeBron James doesn't like Luka Doncic. It's a smoke screen. He actually low-key hates Stephen Curry. I believe he hates him too. And you can feel that energy.
He came into the league. Come on.
And, yeah. And you can feel that energy. Yeah. You can feel that energy. Cool.
This is too easy, especially after on 3 occasions Steph kicked his ass in the World Championship Series. Come on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Cool says Luka comes in fat. No, let me do it right. Luka come in every season fat. He unmotivated. Along with the comment that Chris Bates said. And good morning to you, sir. Cool also has this take. He says, I got a prisoner of the moment as well. Tim Connolly leaving isn't going to kill the Nuggets any more than Masai Ujiri leaving did. People leave teams. If he turns around San Francisco, more power to him. Well, yeah, I agree. And the Nuggets have Nikola Jokic. It's going to be hard for them to veer off and go left.
Man,
real hard. With that player, real hard.
The NBA fandom has gone all the way left.
Oh, that goes without saying. Cool also says, and he agrees with you. He says James Soften is a bomb.
He is.
Oh Lord, Cool. Why did you have to do this, man? Oh my gosh. So all right. So from now on, I won't call him James Harden. I will call him James Soften.
Me too. And listen, I came across a memory on my Facebook feed.
What's up?
And I said something to the tune of James Harden choice as an All-NBA is a bad choice. And I got railed for that. because it was the year he averaged 37 points. Okay, all you James Soften fans who still bring up his MVP year, listen to me carefully. And first of all, I thank you, Cole and others, for agreeing with the statement that I said and also bringing this to light also. The 37 points that James Harden averaged for one season, I believe that's his only 30-point season in his career. I believe that to be true.
I think he had another one, but let me see. Hold on. And that 37-point season, that wasn't his MVP year.
Oh, it wasn't. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But he shouldn't have been MVP whatever year anyway. His MVP year was 2018.
2018. 2018. And for points of clarity, he has scored over 30 points in a season 3 different times. And he did score over 30 in his MVP season, but he didn't score that many. He didn't score 30. He didn't score 30.
But Mike scored 30. Mike averaged 30 in a season 10 times.
Right. Yeah, Harden only did 3.
And I forgot to put a word in that sentence. Consecutive.
Mm-hmm.
And while I'm in the process of cooking, let's turn all 4 burners on the stove. Oh, before I do that, new movie, LeBron James, NBA Afterlife, courtesy of Chris Bass. Bass, I want you to hold on to that until Friday. Because that is 120. That's 120 minutes of gold, and we're all going to take a part of it.
Well, you already know that he's going to lock that in his brain.
Lock that until Friday.
I'm tired of LeBron. Keep up producing movies like Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Mm-hmm.
I love your humor, man. I do. Yes, 6 says he says Snowman is extra cold-blooded. He's in the hospital bed and his heart rate is still in chill mode. Now that's cold.
Hey, Sick, wait till I get out of this joint.
Oh man, Sick also says, wouldn't it be better to leave? He said, wouldn't it be better to leave these fools and let them continue to live in the recent past? Talk about modern NBA fandom. I would love that, but unfortunately, they're like roaches.
They're like
they just come
pennies.
from out of nowhere.
Keep turning over.
Yeah, they just come from out of nowhere, man.
They're like the old town my wife and I used to live in called Henderson, North Carolina. Old, dilapidated, out of date, out of place, out of time, and out of freaking luck.
I mean, they come up from sewers. They come up from manholes. They come up from cow patties. I mean, they just rise up everywhere. I mean, from crevices to sidewalks everywhere. No,
you don't have to tip cows to find these NBA fans. You don't. I'm in Indiana. I'm in Indiana. One of the most revered NBA players of all time here is, of course, Reggie Miller, whom I love seeing. Okay?
Yeah, I do too.
And Reggie doesn't get the love and respect that he deserves. And he's a Hall of Famer.
Not even close. And
he'll be a Hall of Famer as a broadcaster also.
Mm-hmm. He is getting better by the year.
That's what I love about him. The man who invented the phrase "click, click." Here's your Kodak moment.
I'm like, he actually created his own catchphrase. I like that's beautiful.
He created, and I'm going to borrow the daylight side of it when I return to the booth finally for season 25 this fall. I'm calling it right now.
That's awesome.
I mentioned Eric. I mentioned Eric Collins. TV voice of the Charlotte Hornets. Here's how I
agree with you, Base.
When I was working Spurs and Hornets in 2020 down at the Spectrum Center, I was told the name and I thought it was familiar for a moment, but I wanted to be sure. I didn't even get to the top of the stairs in Radio Row when he called me by my full name. And we chatted for a good 10 minutes. And I'm sitting there going, I thought it was you. So I know a few people in the industry. And that night is the night I got to meet Del Curry. And Del and I talked for a few minutes. I told him, look, I love what you're doing as a dad, and I love the fact that I love seeing both your sons play. I did what I was supposed to do. I paid homage. And for those of you who think, you'll never get back in the booth, here's how I'll take us aside. I'll take us down the sidetrack for just a moment. Rewind back to June 5th when all this ish started with me. Blood clots in both my lungs. Let me turn this on here. Blood clots in both my lungs in June. Diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in July. Lost my mother in September. Lived in Raleigh for a month while on chemo. And had chemo brain, as my beautiful wife described it, and she's every bit of right. Moved back here to Indiana night after Halloween. Matter of fact, we left on Halloween. Drove all night till we got up here. And I've since had the cancer removed. Got to deal with a few more blood clots, but they're switching my meds for that. And I'm making plans to be the voice of UNC Greensboro when they get everything in place. I plan to call high school games again. And oh, by the way, one of my good friends said, speak a goal out loud. Here's my goal. The high school that I select to call games for, I'm going to turn that not only into part of my 25th season, but I also plan to turn it into $30,000. Not 5, not 10, not 20, 30. $30,000. Oh, and as far as this show goes, as far as what we do here 5 days a week, me, Cole, the guys in the chat, Chris Bass, Jay Spivey, and the other folks I love having on, we're going to turn this not into thousands of dollars, but billions of dollars within 2 years. I know I got to keep resetting the 2-year mark because my health has got to come first and I'm making it better. But I said what I said as I look into this camera. I said what I said and I mean what I said. $2 billion before the decimal point for you smart asses and your smart assery of doubting me and Cole and everybody else. Within 24 months. I mean, I hope to one day drive down to Tennessee and present Cole with an SUV with my logo on it. Damn it. And y'all think it's a joke? I echo the words of not only Cole's dad, but mine. Just try me.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I'm in a mood.
Well, fighting something that's supposed to put you under and you survive it and thrive under it, it will put anybody in that type of mood. Yeah.
I'm ready to come back to work.
I hear that, man. I hear that.
Let me step out and step back in.
Yeah, go ahead. Sick.
I think I'm frozen, so let me step out and come back in. Give me a couple minutes.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so Sick has this. He says, my aunt has this little home remedy for roaches. Some yogurt and bug spray in strategic spots. Works like a charm. I love that. And morning to you, Andrew. And morning to the rest of you in the chat. Oh, let me do a couple of these side things here. So if you want to support the show, all you have to do is go onto patreon.com/SIT morning. You can do that. And you can catch all the behind the scenes footage of all the things that are going on with this, with the network, with the show, with Brian, with me, with others who are contributors of the show. That is patreon.com/SIT morning. Now, if you want to be like Andrew, like Chris Bass, who normally joins us every Friday, like Sick, like Andrew, like Ryan, like Antricia, like Latine, all you have to do is just one simple thing. Just go onto youtube.com. We are live right now. Of course, we're live on Facebook too. Hello to the Facebook Live folks. But we're also live on youtube.com, and you can also comment on Facebook as well. But youtube.com/C/Snowman in the Morning 50. That's Snowman in the Morning 50. That's Snowman in the Morning 50. I'm trying to do that to tip the nod to Wise. And all you have to do is subscribe to the show. Just hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and you will help us reach further into the stratosphere of the sports landscape. Now, I said I had some things to get off my chest, and this is what I have to get off my chest. So I had a conversation with, I guess you could say it's a bronzexual, but he clothed himself as an Irvingologist. And this conversation that I had with this idiot spawned this type of thought process. So follow me here. He was saying that Kyrie Irving is ready to have his own team and that he's been held back for far too long. And this was spurred by the fact, this is why I said this was a bronzexual cloth as an Irvingologist. This is spurred by the concept of Kyrie regretting the fact that he left LeBron. So now he's on the regretting that he left the LeBron side. And you know, it always vacillates between regretting it and loving it. And he held me back, and regretting he left his side, and then this guy held me back. So he's now on the regretting that he left his side portion again. And people saying, well, Kyrie, he should go out to LA. He should rejoin LeBron. It was coming from that energy, right? And so this idiot had the nerve to say, quote, Kevin Durant has derailed Kyrie Irving's prime. Close quote.
What?
Derailed his prime. What the? So, okay. So you mean to tell me that Durant decided to have him? He said to Kyrie, you know what, Kyrie, go ahead and take some time off after we get back from the bubble and we've had a 10-month break, and you know, leave the team, and say it was because of capital reasons that the insurrection happened. You need to take a break. So it was Kevin Durant who said to him this past year, everybody else get vaccinated, don't you get vaccinated. So it was Kevin Durant who basically made Kyrie the clown show that he is. Right.
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no.
what I think people don't understand, especially urbanologists, is that you cannot lay blame on somebody else for your, all right, fine, I'll say it, for your man and his foibles. That's like saying in a relationship analogy, a guy tippy toes out on this girl, but he claims, well, it's the woman's fault. The woman he's dating's fault for having him go and have sex with other people. That's what you all sound like. Well, Irving hasn't really progressed the way he has because, well, this guy's holding us back. No. This is the same guy who was in Boston and said, I want to be a Celtic for as long as you'll have me. And he said this exactly 9 months before he decided to become a Net. This is the same guy who threw LeBron under the bus when he was in Cleveland. And it's the same guy who is tanking the Nets, not Durant, Irving. And he's doing so because of his selfishness. I mean, you can say he's box office. You can say he's world-class athlete. You can say he's one of the elite basketball players in the league. But unfortunately, all of that is overshadowed and all of that is glossed over and all of that is devalued by the fact the dude is a selfish guy. I mean, it's just that simple. Durant holding Kyrie back?
You for real?
Whoa. What in the blue hell possessed someone to say that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. You did join a little later. All right, so I introduced this. See, I had a conversation with an Irvingologist, but he was clothed and cloaked as a bronsexual. And he was saying that Kyrie, this was spawned by having him say, well, Kyrie should go back to LA, and this has been rumors that's actually been heard, that he should go back to LA and he should rejoin LeBron because he's had regret in how he left things with LeBron in Cleveland. So this Irvingologist came forth and said to me, and these are the exact words, sir. The exact words. Quote, Kevin Durant has derailed Kyrie Irving's prime. Close quote. And before I let you have the floor with this, no, Kevin Durant didn't ruin Kyrie's prime. Kevin Durant ruined his own at the end. He had the best situation possible by being on the Warriors. He decided to want to have his own ship, and he joined a sinking one. And because of that, the tail end of his prime, he ruined. Not anybody else, not the Warriors, not the NBA, not an NBA fan. Kevin Durant ruined the end of Kevin Durant's prime. Because he hitched his wagon to an albatross. But people want to claim that Durant is the downfall of Kyrie as a Brooklyn Net.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Floor is yours.
Okay. Let's turn all the burners on. KD ruined Kyrie's prime.
Yes. KD ruined Kyrie's prime. Yes.
Bitch, are you for real?
Bitch, are you for real?
Crimes on their own by being stupid. And I'm saying that about KD because he had the best situation. He was on the best team. And he let peer pressure get in his head. And as far as Mr. I want to be like LeBron, but shorter.
I don't want to be like LeBron, but shorter.
You have baked fish-eyed fool.
Did you say
You had the
half-baked?
best situation at Duke University. I said half-baked.
No, go.
You half-baked fish-eyed fool. You had Mike Krzyzewski in your back pocket, and you spat on him. Not literally, but figuratively.
Thankfully. Yes.
And that's why when you left Mike Krzyzewski after 11 games, 11. That's why Mike Krzyzewski was so happy when you left and said, "Don't let the doorknob hit your ass on the way out."
Oh, did you say half-baked?
I sure did.
So good.
No, that's not only half-baked, that's fully baked. That's fully baked.
Oh my gosh. I don't understand the logic of these people. I don't. I want to. Okay.
I don't.
Before I continue. Base says, as you said, Rain Man held first, and the other points continue to speak it. Other points continue to speak into existence. Totally agree with that. Andrew says, "What's up to you, Sick? Hope you're doing well." Cool says, "Next Monday, what's up?" Well, I know that you will have me. I know you'll have Wise. Probably have Brian here too. So if you are willing to join, okay, we'll see. Six says, "Indeed,
He's willing. We
Yeah.
gotta have him. We gotta have him.
Oh, we definitely will." Six says, "Indeed, he's been held back. Both his ego and immaturity has been holding him back." He also says, "Kevin Durant has derailed Kyrie Irving's prime." Is this offshore? It isn't the other way around. Andrew agrees with Sick. He said, "Yeah, anything is reverse." Yeah, I think it's the other way around too. Like, if you're going to blame one of the other, Kyrie has held Durant back. I mean, seriously.
Mm-hmm.
The Six says, in the words of Wise,
LeBron, but no one wants to believe me.
Yeah, he says, in the words of Wise, "Whatever they're smoking, I want some of that." And of course, Six says, "I repeat to Helen Martin, of course, the woman who was in the last element that I just played, and who don't know, who remembers the show 227. Most of us do." Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, she had a joint bigger than her. Talk about talk about flavor.
That's why I love that. Chris Bay says, a quote from Dolomite. "Dolomite, my man, way down in the jungle deep, the bad lion sat by the..." Oh, you know the rest. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. We both are fans of Dolomite. We both are fans of Dolomite.
Yes, we are.
Oh my gosh. I could just derail the whole show. The fact you told Big Daddy Kane you caught the mumps of the Asiatic flu and the crabs on your butt singing out Yankee Doodle Doo. I'm like, Lord have mercy, but I digress. Cool says, "Kyrie is derailing organization's victory windows." He's doing more than that. This is what this clown is doing. So besides blowing up the Nets,
them shut.
Yes. Besides destroying the Nets' chances of being a championship team, he's going to destroy the future bag of the NBA's players, because these owners, governors, are going to want it. And I got an argument. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Last week I got in an argument with another Irvingologist because I brought forth this point, and I had the nerve, the temerity, the unmitigated gall to put Kyrie Irving and Ben Simmons in the same sentence. And so I said to him, I said to them, I said, it is him and Ben Simmons who are going to ruin the future bag of these players, because the governors, freaking owners, the governors of the NBA are going to insist that if they're going to sit out, they're not going to be paid. So it's going to be paid for play. I know in the next collective bargaining agreement, these owners are going to ask for that. And they're going to basically hold a hard line with that, to the point where they might force the NBA Players Association to either strike or capitulate and sign on the dotted line, one or the other. And because of that behavior, it is going to wreck not only teams that they play for, but it's going to ruin the league too. Definitely in the eyes of the players, because they're the envy of the rest of the sports professionals, because they're getting contracts that other athletes of other sports want to have, save for possibly baseball. But now that's being sort of taken back a little bit. But that's going to change because of the behavior of Kyrie, who thinks, well, I can just play when I want to play, and Simmons, who can sit on his fat behind and look like a model on the bench while earning $35 million a year. That behavior. But I got called disingenuous. Disingenuous by having that point being said, because I shouldn't have had the nerve to, one, put Kyrie and Ben Simmons in the same sense. Then I should not have had the nerve also to get Negro Knight, Stephen A. Smith, as one of the proofs that I had, and detailing all of what Kyrie did. I cannot take credit for Negro Knight. I cannot take credit for that. That is a combination effort of Cool McCann and Chris Bass. I cannot take credit for that. But I used that as proof, and he thought, "Oh Lord, have mercy. Let me go all the way in." This idiot thought I was BSing by saying, quote, one of the reasons why Kyrie Irving decided to leave, not this year but last year, was because he felt affected by the insurrection back in January 2021, and he left the team without notifying the head coach, without notifying the organization. He just left. And finally, when they got in touch with him, he decided to shake his groove thing at his sister's birthday party. Close quote. But I was called disingenuous by that, right? And I'm like, no. So I put Stephen A. Smith 7-minute soundbite. He's like, that's the last person you should put forward. So I was like, okay, if that's the case, I loaded him up with 4 different websites that actually said the same thing, and none of them came from Stephen A. Smith. So I'm like, no, I ain't BSing. I'm not putting forth lies. This is exactly what was said, sir. And this is exactly what was done. And I have not heard from that jack since.
I said all of that. I illustrated all of that. We both did.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Bass, this is for you, and all. This is for you. Hey, Irvingologist, man, move over and let pass, or they'll be pulling these hush puppies out your motherfucking ass.
Cool says Ben. He says him and Ben Simmons are. Thank you, Cool. Yes, they are.
Didn't we all say that? Didn't we all say that?
Yeah, I'm like, and I said it like, I'm like, this isn't news. This isn't news. I'm like, we knew this before that happened. Before all of this, I'm holding back because I don't want to be vaccinated, and being afraid of taking a shot in the fourth quarter of a playoff game. I mean, this happened before all of that, and now afterwards, you see it live and in living color, and I'm thinking, well, this should be easy to diagnose. Yet you got these idiots in their feelings, and they actually have the nerve to want to come down and say things as injurious, although I'm not even taking it as an injury, as that. And I'm like, okay, no problem. Bay says, use this Dolomite line to Irvingologist.
Yeah.
Quote.
And I just
love
used
that.
it.
Man, move over and let pass, or they'll be pulling these hush puppies out your mother. Close quote. Oh, man, I might have to use that myself. 6 says, more likely see a lockout the next time the owners and the players union meet to negotiate a new contract. If the players hold fast to the current contract structure as it is, yes, expect a lockout coming. I agree with that. 6 says, good to hear Snow and Cole laugh. We need a few laughs. I know. I know. We try to give you some. We try to give you some. Sick also says Kyrie should be the next contestant. Kyrie should be the next contestant on Howie Mandel's Netflix show, the game show. Yeah, you're right. Well, not now, but maybe next season. Well, no, it might be this season because he'll probably take off and have some reason as to why he doesn't want to go to training camp and start the regular season come October, knowing his dumb behind.
Yeah, and that Ben Simmons at his top.
And I don't think
Simmons as his partner.
And I don't find it to be any bit coincidental that the two of them have to be on the same team right now. I think it's absolutely great. And they can both fight who's going to be the more problematic point guard of the team. I love it. I love it. I love it. Dysfunction Central. That's the title of the Nets soap opera. Dysfunction Central. There we go. Because that's what the Nets are.
Well, if you got Dysfunction Central in Brooklyn, what do you have in Philadelphia?
Well, that's not Dysfunction Central. That's just trust no process.
No process.
or cool. James Harden.
Poetic justice.
James Harden, Daryl Morey, Joel Embiid, star in the action flick Poetic Justice. Rated G for going to throw up. Oh Lord, sick. Amber Alert.
Ben Simmons
was seen on the runway in London during London's Fashion Week. Oh, I'm so sorry. I've been derelict in my duties. I have to apologize to the chat, and I have to apologize to my partner. I'm so sorry.
No, you don't.
I'm so sorry. I've been derelict. I'm so sorry. If you have seen this gentleman, please report him to Snowman in the Morning immediately. This man has not seen the court for 11 months. So if you can do us a favor, do us a solid, do these brothers a solid, and just simply report him to Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, because he has been missing on the court since June the 20th of last year. And we probably won't see him until October, unless he's on a runway in London, like Sick said. So thank you, Sick, for giving us that Amber Alert. Doggone heifer. And so I had another conversation with another set of Irvingologists. And so I mentioned that same conversation to them when it was mentioned that Kyrie was going to be heading to LA, or so people are hoping, because they want to Photoshop yet another elite athlete with yet another Lakers jersey. And they said,
just tell a lie? Why'd you just tell a lie?
Wait. Do I lie when I say that people want to Photoshop an elite player every summer? Want to Photoshop an elite player with a Lakers jersey?
No.
I thought thought so.
I
Okay.
mean, there you go, Bass.
In the spirit of Schoolhouse Rock, to describe the Nets, dysfunction junction, y'all can't function.
Y'all can't function.
Oh, that's a good one, Bass. I got to remember that one. Dysfunction junction. There we go. Dysfunction junction. All right, well, there we go. The net soap opera is called Dysfunction Junction. That I love better. Oh, Lord. Cool says, I saw him talking about Ben Simmons missing jump shots at LA Fitness.
Was he even taking them?
I saw him missing jump shots at LA Fitness. Lord have mercy. That's funny. Oh, Lord, that deserves a...
Damn! That's crazy.
Oh, my gosh, that is great. But yeah, I had another conversation with another Irvingologist saying what I just said, and Kyrie not taking responsibility and being basically the guy that basically is nothing more than a soap opera wrapped in a human being. And I said, but to hear bronzexuals and Irvingologists tell it, Durant ruined Kyrie's prime. And so people thought I was saying it to try to drum up drama. I'm just saying it for fact, right? So I had one basically say crickets chirping. I'm like, I could give a crap if I get comments. That wasn't for it. It was just, I'm just stating a fact. You can take it for what you want. And then I had another clown who had to ask the question. And yes, I'm saying it that way on purpose. Quote.
Oh, no.
So why are you asking this question? Why are you bringing up bronzexuals in this? LeBron wasn't even mentioned in this.
Yes, he was.
Yes, close quote. I'm like, yes, and I said, quote, Kyrie is rumored to want to go to LA and join LeBron, close quote. Thank you, good night. I'm like, you asked, I answered, thank you, good night. And I'm like, what the heck? And then another one had the nerve to say that they be obsessed. So I'm like, let me straighten you out, sir. I said, no, try observant. That is a better action. No, better yet, try truthful. Because I heard an Irvingologist disguised as Irvingologist, I should say, that's a bronzexual saying this to me. So, you idiots can be offended all you want. The truth is there. You have a guy who has this ability, but alienates every teammate that he's played with, and every team he's played on. Mm-hmm. Because he is such a selfish guy. I'm sorry. He is selfish, he's unprofessional. What else can you say about this guy other than he is out for self? Is there anything wrong that I said there, sir? Anything. Pick anything that I said. Anything.
I find no lies.
That's what I thought.
I find no falsehoods.
That's what I thought.
Find no lack of facts.
So I'm saying to myself, these fools getting so hot under the collar or hot under the waist.
And butthurt.
Yeah. And hot under the waist and butthurt. To the point where they feel as though whenever they tell me off that they're doing something, I'm like, no, I'm just speaking facts. And the fact that you get all hot under the collar and all hot and bothered tells me it's not me who has the problem. Because Kyrie being an idiot, that's not a me problem. In fact, his being an idiot is entertainment for me. Because I get to see more of his antics. I mean, because, look.
Okay.
You sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
One more side story from me. And then I got to go to physical therapy. I had a bronzexual, an urologist, and a sophanite come at me.
Oh Lord!
I'll start with the bronze. This is my triple play for the day, and I gotta turn this into a segment somehow.
Okay.
I'll start with the urologist because urologists are starting to really piss me off. The urologist said to me, name a point guard in today's NBA with better handles. And I jumped all over it and I said, Wardell Stephen Curry II. Who else?
I was going to say, none other than the first.
Really going to put.
Go ahead. I was going to say, none other than the first ever recipient of the Magic Johnson Western Conference Finals Award, Stephen Curry. But go ahead, sir.
And they said, you really think Steph has great handles? I said, yeah, because Steph actually worked on him. And he continues on. He says, no one can finish at the rim better than Kyrie. Well, Steph can. He either gets the bucket or he gets an assist. Next. Good morning to You Ain't Wrong. What's up, cowboy? Thanks for joining the show. Then
thank you, sir.
The sophanite that comes back with the
money to you, Latine.
He averaged 37 with the 37 in a season. Let's see. How many threes did Harden take that year, and how many threes did Jordan take that year? And by the way, Jordan had 3,000 points in that single season. One of only two players to do it.
Well, I know Harden took so many points. Yeah. Go ahead, sir.
And now to wrap up this triple play, the bronzexual.
Well, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, my alarm went off when I mentioned bronzexual. How about that? Some time ago, there was a post that says, LeBron is the greatest scorer and passer. And I said, bitch, are you for real? And he goes, name me five players that are better than him. I said, do you want me to go by position or overall? And he said, go by position. I said, all right. I'll give you 3 Hall of Famers right now. James Worthy, Scottie Pippen, Larry Bird. And, of course, he had something disparaging to say about all 3 of them. And he says, well, Scottie never averaged how much LeBron is averaging this season. Yeah. You want to know the best part? He never had to. And he goes, well, that's only 3. You can't name 2 more. I can name a bunch more. I don't have to say Julius Erving. I don't have to say Dominique Wilkins.
That are better passes? You easily mentioned 2 more. Oh, see, this is my number one gripe about bronzexual when they talk about LeBron. Being most prolific and being best are 2 totally different realms. 2 totally different realms.
You know what name I threw at him? You know what name I threw at him? Just to mess him up bad. And I hope all you old schoolers recognize the name because I spoke about him often. Does the name... Hold on a minute. See, here's the alarm again. Does the name Tom Chambers mean anything to you?
It means a lot to me. The forerunner to Dirk Nowitzki. I've said that often.
Mm-hmm. And the forerunner to Tom Chambers also wear wore a Sonics uniform. You know him well. Jack
Sigma. Mm-hmm.
And I threw a German in there that ain't Dirk Nowitzki in my conversation with him. And he says, I dare you to name someone. He says, I dare you to name someone else. All right, Detlef Schrempf. You know, that some bitch actually laughed at me. And I hit him with one question and one question only. Do you even know who Detlef Schrempf is? Ain't heard from that motherfucker since.
Oh, so yeah, you probably heard crickets from that. That's a beautiful thing.
So if I can throw Detlef Schrempf, Jack Sigma, and Tom Chambers, all three were all-stars, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
What's that say about these modern NBA fans that compare? No, I retract that question and I complete with this statement. As you say often in a segment we're going to do tomorrow, there is no end in sight.
Sure ain't. Sure ain't.
There is no end in sight. All right, there's my alarm. Take us out of here.
All right. Take care of yourself, brother.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Get well, get healthier. We're going to be beasts. And cool, you, sir, hit the nail completely on the head. Because to me, Ja, I love him at the rim more than Kyrie. Great finisher at the rim. Good point there, sir. And yes, I want to thank Latine A for the invite to You Ain't Wrong coming in here. You're amongst family, so thank you for coming on. He says, howdy, cowboy, to You Ain't Wrong. And Latine A asked Brian, says, please name a few more. And of course, he named a few more. I could, with passers, I can literally, John Stockton, Jason Kidd, Mark Price. Okay, I can stop. With scores, Will Chamberlain, and I can stop there. So, Six says, well, the reason why Scotty wasn't as prolific as assist guy is because he was backing Michael. That's right. And Sick already knows what I'm about to do. So this is the end of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. As you saw, my partner, he had to go take care of business. He joined me for most of this show. It was great to have him back for almost a full show. It was wonderful to have him. It felt like old times. And if you want to have more of that, and you want to see more of that, you want to encourage more of that, all you have to do is look at us on BS3 Network, on Roku TV. You can also go into Facebook Live, as what Chris Bakes has done, or you can be like many of you, go on to youtube.com/C/Snowman in the Morning 50 and subscribe to the show. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. That notification bell will give you the Batman signal, as you could say, in knowing when the next show is going to appear. So we are so grateful that you are here. Thank you, chat. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And all I got to say to the rest of you, and I say this on behalf of Brian, take care. God bless. Make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, then they're simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. That's what Brian is doing as we speak. Wise, I know that's what you're doing. I know Sam the Shade Sports Network. I know you're doing the same thing. I know Ben Sutter III. I know you and Ivan and Ben Jr. and Irene. I know that's what you all are doing. We hope you're doing the same thing, as am I. So we bow out gracefully on this Tuesday edition of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. I am one half of that duo, Cole Johnson. Tune in tomorrow. Will we see the Warriors advance to the finals? And we'll preview Game 5 between the Heat and the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. Until then, see ya!
Thank you for tuning into Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, the hottest of hot takes and the coldest of cold, hard facts.